Okay, I think that's doing what it's meant to be doing, and that's doing what it's maybe what it's meant to be doing. Maybe, hopefully, not quite sure. Think so. It's an exciting life. Okay, what's the time? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 1 minute short of 8 o'clock, and so we'll give it, 67 3/4 seconds before I actually start. Hopefully we are going to do some exercise of a particular sort. I'll just wait till it turns 8 o'clock and then I'll give you, right, it has turned 8 o'clock, so my OCD instructs me to start. Context is everything. It's 8 o'clock. It's been quite a busy day. I've done about 2.5 hours of Tai Chi today. I've done a minute short, I think, of an hour's swimming. I've done various stuff since I woke up fairly early. And normally these exercise sessions are to limber up the body for the beginning of the day. However, it's now the end of the day and my body is as limber as it's going to get. So the exercises that I'm going to share with you this evening, in principle, and I say in principle because I haven't planned this out particularly, it just came about because things happened today which meant I didn't do a morning session, so I thought, do an evening session. So the exercises that we're going to do are what I would call end of day exercises. They're the sort of things that you might find me doing, although what you'd be doing in my house at 11 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning is another question entirely, but at 11 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning or some late time is when you might find me doing these exercises. Very simple, and we'll start now. Feet shoulder width, hip width apart, and just take the weight from one side to the other. And then take that into a twisting movement, mainly of the waist, but also slightly of the hips, allowing the arms to float around the body. Now you have a choice. You can either look forward as I am now, focusing your gaze, well, probably on the screen if you're watching this, or if you were practicing this exercise by yourself, you can do what I'm doing now, which is to let your head turn in with the body. So I think you understand what I mean. Okay, I'm now going to come back to the center. So I'm not shifting side to side. I'm just turning the waist and letting the arms float around the body. I'm going to bring the feet in slightly, bend and straighten the knees, let the arms relax, and the arms will float up and fall down. Float up, fall down. Gravity pulls them down, and the motion of the legs helps push them up. You really want to use the muscles in the arms as little as possible. Nice and relaxed. with all the exercises that we do, if you can breathe in and out through your nose, that's jolly spiffing. It's good, it's lovely. And then we combine the preceding, or parts of the preceding two exercises, pushing up first from one leg, then the other, then the other, then the other, then the other, allowing the arms to relax, the waist to turn, and that will give you the diagonal arm movement. The movement in the legs, the pushing from one leg to the other, is quite intense from a muscular contraction point of view. It's just not a large movement, so it's not that quick even. It's the power you're putting into the muscles there. Probably things like change of direction and velocity and acceleration and various other long words with lots of letters in them. And then we relax and we let the legs bend just a little and we circle the shoulders. Obviously those of you that, or if you, sorry, I should speak to you as an individual, unless of course you're watching this with somebody else. If you watch some of the morning videos, you will see obviously there are some exercises that you do morning and evening. There are other exercises that are capable of being done at any time of day, but which lend themselves more to a morning or an evening session. Change direction. Especially when you're exercising in the evening, and especially if you're exercising later at night, say, as I occasionally do, not regularly, but not rarely, occasionally I'll exercise for say half an hour or 45 minutes before going to sleep. Well, you don't want to end up all out of breath, because then you won't sleep very well. But you do want to work the body enough so that you know what you've been doing. Raise the shoulders, drop the shoulders, raise the shoulders, leave go. Tense the muscles, turn the muscles off, deactivate, activate, deactivate, tense, relax, raise, let go. One more. Okay. Take the feet slightly wider apart, turn the toes out, gently just slide a little bit from side to side. Do this for probably, I haven't got a clock. I mean, I've got a clock behind me, but I haven't got a clock in front. So 20 seconds, 30 seconds, then take the feet out a little bit more. Also, I would say late at night stretching. Stretching should be very relaxed late at night. It can be a deep stretch, but you don't want to stretch so strongly that then when you're trying to sleep, the muscles are aching because you've overstretched them. I'm taking my feet out a little bit wider, still going diagonal, trying to keep my knees going along the line that you might consider set by the angle at which my feet are turned out. So the knee travels in line with the toes, or the feet. I seem to be having trouble with plurals tonight, not adding S's and foot instead of feet, but we won't worry about a little thing like that. Now gently pulse up and down. hips in to about shoulder or hip width. Take one foot out in front, circle the knee. Change direction. Change leg. Change direction. Feet slightly more than shoulder width. There is an exercise called cloud hands, or a form if you do Tai Chi called cloud hands. I will come in a bit closer to camera. Oops, I need to move that way, sorry, so that hands sort of stacked above one another, turn round, transit across as the waist turns. There's many variations of this exercise. I'm gradually going from side to side. There are ones where you are static and turn, and there are many, certainly more than several, variations of what the hands do. But one where the hand, if you look at that hand, sort of turns as it comes across, the other hand turns as it comes across, is a reasonably common version. You can also see my fingers are sort of doing a semi-scooping motion at the bottom. The easy version of this, if you like, is just to take the hands, move the hands, move the hands, cross the hands, sorry, turn the body, cross the hands, turn the body, cross the hands, turn the body, cross the hands. That will, if you're not familiar with cloud hands, that simple sort of square shape, almost I suppose you could call it, that simple square shape just gets the body used to the fundamental part of the form. Now we're going to do a different variation of this. If anybody here watched back in the day the original movie Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi and Daniel San, wax on and wax off, I must confess when we do this next exercise, although it's different, that's what goes through my mind. So one hand, and I'm just going to have to move back a bit, one hand goes that way. The hips and the waist aid the movement, but the arm is also moving. So if I was to stop the waist and arm movement, the waist and hips movement, it would still be doing that, but with the waist and hips, it becomes coordinated. So you have one going the other way, then you have the other going the other way. The arms are ever so slightly bent. Also, if I turn through 90 degrees, you'll see the hands are in front of the body. They don't travel behind. For this exercise, opposing circles, and as you get more comfortable, you start to increase the amount of shoulder rotation. Now, in Tai Chi proper, we keep the shoulders down, we keep the shoulders relaxed. I can't think of an exception, but I won't say 100%, but you keep the shoulders relaxed possibly 99.9% of the time, maybe more than that. But in this exercise, it is permissible to extend and expand the movement. And then if you want to, if you're feeling daring, you can reverse direction. And if your shoulders are not capable of large movements, you do your wax on, wax off, but a larger movement with the whole body coming up from the toes, through the hips, all the way up to the tips of the fingers is ideally what we want. And relax. And you may find that your fingers are tingling a little bit. If they are, that's perfectly okay. If they're not, that's super duper too. Next exercise, very simple. We're just going to raise our knees. And we're going to tuck the elbows into the side so they're stuck. And as we lift either leg, we lift our hands, bend our arms, and as we do that, we clench our fingers. We're not doing it fast. Just nice and rhythmically, nice and gently. Again, talking about this as an evening exercise, I would say it's permissible to do this enough so that the heart rate goes up a few beats per minute, but you're not trying to do anything that you might even begin to consider hard work. It should all be quite gentle. You can also, while you're doing this exercise, ever so, well, not gently exactly, but moderately tense, draw in slightly the tummy muscles, drawing them in while you do this exercise is good. Next exercise, start just with simple circles of your middle. Make sure it is a circle, so you go backwards and forwards as well as side to side. Generally in the evening it's easier to do circles than first thing in the morning because your body is a little bit more relaxed, hopefully, a bit softer first thing in the morning, so you may be able to make these circles a bit bigger, may be able to make them a little bit faster, but whatever feels right for you is right for you. I know I harp on about this, but Tai Chi is all about being the best version of yourself at the point in time when you're doing it, which also means accepting any faults, limitations, warts or spots that you may have, change direction. we unfortunately live in a culture where ideals of perfection, be they beautiful women or super muscular men, tend to bombard us more than is perhaps strictly good for us. Most people are never going to be, well, I can't think who the current icons are, because I don't pay attention, but whoever the current icons are of female beauty and male masculinity, and obviously any other gender or non-gender icons that may be being promoted, that's them. You are you, I am I, and you is perfect. And relax. Keep the lower body still, gently rotate the upper body. Change direction. Bring the feet in, probably about hip width. Let me show you what we're going to do before you do it, because we're going to bend forward, and the bending forward bit is easy. But because it's late at night, and whilst you might be relaxed, on the other hand you might be tired, when you're tired you don't want to do things to the body that might damage it. You don't want to go to bed all achy. So let me show you how we get into this bend, and then more importantly let me show you how we get out. We're going to bend forwards. That's easy peasy. Depends how flexible you are as to how far you bend. But this is the important bit. When we go to get out of it, we're going to bend the legs a little bit, place our hands slightly above the knees and push ourselves up using arm strength and leg strength to straighten the body. The reason being, in doing that, we take pressure off the muscles in the back, because otherwise there is a tendency to use the back muscles to pull you up, and we want to use bigger muscles in the arms and the legs so we don't damage the back muscles. Pretty obvious really. So, bend forwards. If your arms don't reach the floor, let them just hang down. If they do reach the floor, you can rest them there, or you can pull them up and sort of hold your own hands to let the body sink forward. Try and relax as much as possible. Bend the legs, put the hands above the knees, push up, gently straighten up, nice and slow. Put your hands into your back, push your hips forward slightly. I suggest you keep looking forward. You can do this exercise and look up or back, but you may find it's better if you just push forward and look forward. Gently, slowly straighten up. A couple of circles one way, well, more than a couple. And then a few circles the other way, well, technically more than a few. And then we do the exercise again. We relax, we let our body hang down. If the hands touch the floor, you can have them touch the floor, or you can hold your wrists and just let the body go forward. Bend the legs, put the hands above the knees, push, gently straighten up, hands in the small of the back, push forward, look forward or look back depending on your personal preference and your flexibility. And relax. Some circles. And some circles the other way. For the next exercise, it doesn't kind of matter where your feet are, but you want to kind of, oh gosh, this is complicated to explain. It's easy to explain. I'll make it easy to explain. Wherever your feet are, keep your feet where they are. Don't let the feet turn. We're going to turn the body. So what you do is you gently turn the body as far round as you can, keeping the feet still. And then you come back to the centre. Oh, I moved my foot there. Turn the body the other way, keeping the feet still. Come back to the centre. Now, take a hand on the same side as the way you're turning. Turn and point as far round as you can and see where you're pointing. So I can see there is the Agar-Hutton Tai Chi Academy sign there. I'm pointing about to the C in Tai Chi. I come back, turn the other way, and look where I'm pointing, and I'm pointing, I would say, towards the wooden ball. Again, I altered my foot position there, which I'm trying not to do. Now I do it again, and I get the hand pointing to the C, and I go further. I'm now going to the Y of Academy. Now, whether I'm twisting my waist and hips more, or whether I'm just opening the shoulder up a bit more, I don't care. The point is I've gone further. Go the other way, point to the wooden ball, and then go past it to the corner of the room. And relax and come back. Circle the waist. Circle the waist the other way. Feet about hip width apart, knees bent, sitting back ever so slightly. Take the head gently in a U shape. To finish off, we're going to do what would be considered a Cheekbone exercise. So it's a movement and breathing exercise to mobilize energy throughout the body, be that Western energy or be that Eastern Chi energy, whichever sort of frame of reference you want to use, be it an Eastern frame of reference or a Western frame of reference. Really doesn't matter. The idea is just to get some air into the system, a little bit of energy, so you feel good before relaxing and going to sleep. I mean, not that I'm going to go to sleep at sort of 8:30 something in the evening. Although I must admit that is quite tempting because it's been a long day. But anyway, this is the exercise. I think I've talked about this before on my videos. There are very complex Qigong exercises. Many have multiple moves. One that I teach, which I like a lot, called Qibao Shi, has got 18 moves. But if you're doing 18 moves, you've got to think, have I just done move 12? Oh yeah, what's move 13? I've done move 13. It's not very relaxing if you're not careful, because you're thinking about what you're doing. So my current favourite simple Qigong exercise goes like this. Pelvis slightly tucked under, we're going to breathe in and out through the nose. As the body lifts up, the legs straighten but they do not lock out. As you sit back ever so slightly, the knees bend. So we breathe in, and we breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe in, the palms face down, the hands can come up to probably almost eye height. As you breathe out, the hands can go as low as, just turn as there, so they're sort of parallel with the thighs. Sorry, and then out to the sides, and again the arms are in front of the body, and then as the hands come down and you sit back ever so slightly, the palms are facing your body. So, breathing in and out. In and out. Those two moves constitute one set. So if I'm teaching this in a class, then at some point I will say, okay, we will do 2 more sets, or 22 more sets, or whatever. No, I wouldn't say 22, that'd be complicated. 2 sets, I would probably say. But if you're doing it by yourself, you do it, you do it for as long as feels right, and then probably just a little bit more. I'm just going to turn slightly so that the front camera are more directly facing. And now we just breathe and relax. And the timing of the movement you base on the timing of your own breath. So if your breath is quicker than mine, your arms will be moving, and your legs, your body will be moving quicker. If your breath is deeper and slower than mine, then your movements will be slower. You can use this exercise as an intentional way of slowing and deepening your breath, but don't try and overdo it. Nice and gentle. I'm going to do 2 more sets. On this last one, I'm going to let my hands come together. I'm going to close my eyes, but you can close or half close yours, depending on what you feel is right for you. My legs are a little bit bent. I'm just going to breathe gently for a while. Give your body a gentle shake. That's a exercise routine for evening use. I mean, you can do it anytime you like, but because it's fairly gentle, primarily for evening use. I ring the changes on exercises that I do anyway. I do sometimes do the same routine for a number of days or weeks, but equally I often do different routines. In the evening, I would tend to be more likely to do a different routine because by the end of the day, I know which bits have stopped working, which bits are feeling, shouldn't have spent 18 hours on the computer, or shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that. I don't spend 18 hours on the computer anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. So anyway, you pay attention to your body, and your evening exercise routine would very much be mandated by how you felt. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you find it of some value. Obviously, I have paid for, I have lessons that you can pay for that you're welcome to find out about and join in. And I will also continue providing, hopefully fairly regular, free content for you. Have a lovely evening. If you want to be formal, you can salute me like that, and I salute you like that, because salutes should be two-way. Or just say ciao. Have a lovely evening. Bye.